This is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues. And this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special morning it is. It's a wonderful Wednesday. That means my partner in crime, my coach this morning, Bradley Gilbert. Morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
Happy Wednesday. It's Education Wednesday, and we have Salem School Corporation in the house right here. We have Kim Thurston and Jill Mires. Good morning.
Good morning, Becky.
Welcome back. Look at
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great to be back.
Shock and chagrin over there.
Yeah, great to be back. Yeah.
And yesterday was the first day. Wait, actually, let's see. Tuesday. Wait, hang on. How was it? Yesterday was the first day back for kids.
Teachers.
Professional day.
Yeah.
Oh, so then
Professional day
today
yesterday.
is the first back for the kids. Oh,
Yes.
look at you guys. Look at that. Oh, game on, right?
That's right.
Well, we're going to get you guys in a good mood. We're going to start the morning off right
Yeah.
here, okay?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
All right, Brad, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
We've got Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Foxley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Leader One Financial, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, thank you to our great sponsors. We're on to the third day of January. Today is Festival of Sleep Day.
And we're not celebrating.
No, I know. We so miss this, right? This is also National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day. Jill, you like chocolate covered cherries?
The chocolate part? Yes. Cherries, no.
Okay. Kim?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The cordials, yeah.
Oh, Brad?
I do, and I always make sure that I refrigerate them. I know that's strange,
Oh,
but
no.
they're better a little bit. Cool. Yeah, but absolutely. Bring it on.
Bring it on. National Drinking Straw Day.
We just talked about straws today. Paper straws versus metal straws. So, yes.
Yes. The only thing is, if you get a good metal straw and you lose it, that's the bad thing. You know what I mean? You know? Yeah.
But which I understand that we need to, address certain things, but the cardboard paper straws just
Oh,
not a fan
not
of
a
those.
fan.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
hold up.
no,
Yeah.
no. National Right to Congress Day. Okay. If you feel the need, right to Congress. All right. Women Rock Day. All right, Jill, it's our day. Okay, guys, sorry about that. We rock, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. You guys were just saying that about us before we started, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, you girls rock. You ladies rock. Yeah, thank you for that. All right, let's jump in and see. Okay, real quick, we need to do a Walmart recap. You guys are 70% off now.
Yep,
Christmas.
We are
Marking it down.
and it's getting low
Oh,
because we've already got Valentine's in there and game day stuff in there and everything. But yeah, 70% off, and
some of the beautiful
So-
house plants there.
yes,
I had to go out and
yes.
see them. They're beautiful.
And some. I'm not at home office, so I don't know the rhyme or reason, and they really don't let the HR guy decide about a lot of things. But we've got these really cool area rugs for $20 that have just, and it's always a thing. And I think people, New Year, they start maybe spring cleaning early. I don't know. They're always, every year, people love them, and we've got the smaller ones as well. So those are just
I've cracked
something
them
that's
up.
like one of those things that you go, hey, that's just random.
Well, I said,
but-
that's what it was funny. I said,
Yeah.
boy, somebody bought the rugs.
Yes.
Because there's
yes,
like abundance, like 3 different areas where
Yeah.
you can get rugs.
Yeah, and that's a home office buy, and
That's a
it
really
does
deal.
well, and we're doing well with that. But those came in on sale, not on clearance, but on rollback, so
Yeah.
that's good. So, but yeah, we've got Christmas and holiday stuff going out. We still got apparel. We've got light up sweatshirts for $4 and things like that. So
Can't beat that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for the game day stuff, and there's going to be some new Valentine stuff as you come in the door on the grocery side for like the bakery stuff and snack stuff. So that's kind of, I always look forward to that. We have one thing that I saw yesterday that I was going to have to check out is red velvet Rice Krispie treats for Valentine's Day. So
those will go.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, people are over there buying them.
Yeah.
Right now that you said that.
Yeah.
Who knew they had such a thing?
I know. So, but come see us. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
And little news flash for you, so maybe give you some hope. In 5 weeks, we're going to start getting our lawnmowers in. So how cool is that? So that's a sign that
is nice.
It's getting closer to pool season.
And I think that's where, like, sometimes, you know, for your, like, just for your well-being, it's nice to just take a trip around there and see all that. You know what I mean? Even if you're not ready to need a new lawnmower, just to walk through there gives you that Indiana ray of hope. Spring is around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one last thing that I would say is, you know, in weather that you may have kiddos or other family members who don't feel that great. Our delivery service for our digital business, ordering your online groceries and other items, that's going really well. But you know, in the weather, unless it's icy roads or anything, they'll be there to your house and they'll bring it to you in a Walmart Plus membership. It's free, so absolutely take advantage of that, and that way you don't have to get out in cold weather. The roads and everything may be fine, it's just cold, and you may have some health issues that you don't want to have to get out. And like I said, you don't want to have to, sometimes the little ones, you don't want to drag them out, and we'll take care of you. So
where was this years ago? Could have really used this, you know?
Yeah.
I do want to say, you know, getting school back today and everything, bringing everybody back together, that's usually when things start kind of temperatures maybe go up, a little bit of coughing, sneezing, and Kim's furrowed brow over there.
Well, there's
you know,
there's a lot of illness
Yes,
going around right now.
exactly.
It's just that time of year.
Yeah,
Plus, nationally,
yeah.
there seems to hear on the news
But it
every
seems
night
like-
how much sickness there is and
Right.
illness being spread around the country.
Yeah, you hear of pneumonia and all of that, but
Yeah.
everybody coming back together, you know, just, you know, from visiting all around and everything, coming back under one roof, and it's okay. It's part of it. That's part, those are the things that you'll never forget, you know, the rest of your life, you know, those people that you sat by that maybe gave you the flu.
Well, if
I can remember exactly. I can name drop the mumps, okay? I can tell exactly who gave me the
That's
mumps.
funny. That's funny. Wow. The mumps. No, what I was going to say is, like, you know, if we've learned anything from a few years ago, a little event that happened around the globe, there was a comedian, I don't know which one it was, but it was kind of in the aftermath of all that. It's like, first of all, when did we stop washing our hands?
Yeah.
And for the love of everything holy, let's not stop washing our hands again. You know? So, and that goes very well this time of year, and we talk about that in retail a lot. You know, you're dealing with customers and stuff like that, and wash your hands. I mean, it's just kind of simple.
Good public service
but it's
announcement.
harder for kids sometimes.
Sure.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, school starts back, and so actually they had a really nice vacation. Because they started a little bit earlier, I thought, you know, starting off that Christmas vacation, which was a blessing for families. You know, if they needed to travel or if they just wanted home time or just get ready for Christmas, I thought that worked out really well.
Yes, I think that's been kind of the consensus with that week before and pretty much a week after. So,
yeah, that's very nice. And it's nice for families. I love family time, and I love people having that time. And I think that sometimes it gets so rushed, you know, so much going on, that it is really nice for that. So I'm really happy with the scheduling of that. So I think that's good. So we're back today, and we've got a lot of things going on at Salem Community Schools. Now, this is from today till our next break. This is called this kind of like the long stretch.
Yeah,
is this the seventh inning or whatever? Is this when you need to stand up and stretch?
Yes.
Yeah.
People are hoping for snow days.
Yeah. Yeah. Fingers crossed, right? But that's okay. That's part of it. That's the way we go. And they've had some good time off. But I think also going back with children, and I think we've learned that they like that consistency, they like that routine, and I think parents do too. It's kind of good for the family to get back on it, you know, where they're not staying up till midnight, you know, they're going to bed, you know, at a decent hour. Brad's like, most definitely.
Yeah,
I've got
absolutely.
rude awakening for a teenager you
Yes,
have
yes.
over there. But I think that works out well. But Salem Community Schools also has done some for the 2024, done some new things, and we've actually incorporated, and we've been asked, and is this, by different families, and it's kind of like the no family gets left behind, and we've kind of expanded some of our bus routes, which have been a blessing for our school corporation.
We have, and we're in the process of seeing how that's going to go. Right now, we've implemented a run down 135 toward Palmyra, and we've implemented another one, a stop in Scottsburg, and we've reached out with advertising and posting. Jill was involved with that with Monica. You want to discuss that a little bit,
Sure.
maybe?
Hopefully, people in the surrounding areas received our postcards, and if you express interest in those new routes, just give us a call. We will see if we can make that happen to bring your student here to Salem schools.
I love that, and I think that's a blessing to have that. And I know that there were families that were wanting this. It was just a matter of of stepping out and doing it. So I think this is going to be a great thing, and I think it's a great opportunity for families.
Yes, we'll continue to monitor how those are going, and if we receive any additional calls, and what other routes we need to implement for next year.
Well, I think that's
awesome.
fantastic.
That is,
yeah.
yes.
I'm very happy of that, and I think it's going to go over wonderful. So if anybody's listening or knows somebody that's listening, they have that option and that opportunity. So.
And we'll be doing another mailer, so those will be
Okay.
going out again soon.
Okay.
And a couple of our upcoming newsletters will have more information about additional routes.
Okay, great. Good.
I would like to point out that our new transportation director, Ed Jordan,
Yes.
he's really the catalyst behind most of this. He's done a tremendous job, fantastic job with the transportation department, acquiring drivers, training drivers, just revamping our transportation, putting it at a level where it needs to be, and we just appreciate Ed a great deal. He does an outstanding job.
Right.
Absolutely. And he spent most of his break working on our new mapping system, our Traversa system, which will allow families to understand the transportation piece and where students are on the bus in real time,
Oh, awesome.
and the expectation of when they'll arrive home. So,
Oh,
yes, Ed's
that's-
been working really, really hard on
I
Traversa.
love that.
I do too.
Yes,
That is.
he spent hours, countless hours, getting the maps ready to go. So hopefully that will be up and running very soon.
So how will that be? Kind of explain a little bit. Go on a little bit more. This is really nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a system that we've had, but it did require a lot of background work. And we've been training. We've had the admin team in the office, as well as our attendance clerks in all of our buildings. We've spent several hours training with Traversa, and like I said, Mr. Jordan's had to go through and add stops. He's had to drive those routes, and once all of that system is up and running, it will be more of a tracking system for us at the admin building, as well as our schools and our parents.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So walk me through how would a parent, what all would go into a parent? How easy is it for a parent to do that tracking?
Well, just for
Is it-
example, now, like if we have a new student come in today,
Yeah.
and they want to use our busing system, so the clerk can immediately type in the address, and it's going to immediately give her feedback
Okay.
on where the bus stop is, what time the bus should come, and we can give that information directly to the parents. Whereas before you had to wait, had to call Ed, had to check and see, oh, well, the bus does this, this, and this first.
Right.
So now it'll be more of an immediate piece and immediate feedback. And then eventually parents will be able to log in and see in real time when the arrival would be.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
Oh, that's a great tool.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. Maybe I misunderstood this, but did Ed go through, and is it to where as many stops as possible that the students aren't having to cross the street, or is that, did I understand that?
He's been
when he
working
was
on that
in?
as well.
He's working
Yeah.
on that, so
Yes.
that's the end game, is to where we don't have to have any of the kiddos going across and getting into traffic
And with
that
the new
way,
laws
right?
and
They'll
implementations,
just come
yes.
off the bus and be on the side of their home. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Worked very hard on that.
Yeah.
And I love this tracking. I think this is fantastic because I'm thinking, like if you're mom or dad or grandmother or and let's say you're running a little late and or the bus is running a little late. Let's say that we are going to get into bad weather, snow or ice, and the bus driver might be driving a little bit slower, a little more cautious.
Yeah.
You can track where your child's at. I love that.
Yes.
I think that's so awesome for families. What a blessing.
So we're building this in steps. It's taking some
yeah,
time.
but yes. I know, but like in when it just starts really being completely in working. I mean, I think that's such a blessing for families. I love that. I didn't realize this was a possibility, and I love that. And if I knew it, I forgot it, or didn't. But I can't believe I would have forgot something like that because I think it's fantastic.
Well, I think that gives the school system another thing to set Salem schools apart from other schools, because when you think about parents want a good education for their child.
Yes, they do.
But if you talk about what is most important to you is the safety of your child to and from school if they're using the busing system. And so that's just another tool that can put the parents' mind at ease. So I think, going down the road, I think that's another thing that is hats off to so proud of being an alum of Salem. Hats off to leading the way on things like that. It's important.
Well, that's right. Safety is priority for parents, as it should be. And we also have our 3 tornado safe rooms now, 1 per building. And and we need to do a better job of marketing that aspect of the school district as well, because you not only can track where your students are, eventually we'll be able to track where your students are at a given point in time. But hopefully we never have to see how effective these safe rooms are. But if we do, then we have an area to send each building to a safe area during a tornado if one would occur. So I think that's an important aspect of the everyday safety of the student body as well.
And we celebrated that dedication just before break.
Yeah.
FEMA was here, and extremely impressed with all the work that had been done.
It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. And I think it is just so awesome, and for those, that the open house we had and, and dedication, it's just so cool because like so many people, I think in this community don't realize what a blessing it is, the impact that it has. And, and we know that the safe room, the first one we had at the elementary, has already been used by the community so much already, from tornado, shelter, from electricity being out for people. We have a generator. I mean, and I love the work. I love the I guess partnering, the relationship of the community and the school corporation, everybody working for families like that. And that's such a blessing, I think it's, how awesome for us to have this, and you go back and I hate to even bring up too much, but the Henryville, I think that was the biggest eye-opener for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
and I still think about that, and just seconds they had to make decisions, and what a blessing. I mean, it had to be a God thing that they made the right decision,
Sure.
and what a blessing that we've got the situations put where we have this protection now from.
And the only district in the state
Yes.
that has it for all.
Yeah, or even
levels.
like the
wide area. It's interesting because recently there has been federal legislation, I believe that's correct, that if you build a new structure or actually build a new school building facility, I think in some states they've mandated that you add a safe room to part of that construction. I don't know exactly where that is or what part of the country that is. It could be all over, but I've heard that from our architects, so it's, but in Indiana we are the only school district with a tornado safe room for each school.
Yeah.
So that's a unique feature, and it's great.
Another feather in the cap for that, to me, is even if there's not the need for a tornado, for that room to be utilized that way. Every day that students are in the school is a safe thing, because now we have students that are not going from the high school to the middle school, and possibility of things that can happen there, and you don't want, but when you limit that type of movement amongst the students, that makes their daily life at school safer. So I think that's a win as well, because we put music and band and stuff like that as part of that new area. So I think that's another great thing to think about too.
Right. And I think the it was awesome that night to see like some of the the people that had parts of it for years working on this, and then this was the day to everybody just celebrate. I love that, and like from the band director, she's like she's over the moon how blessed our children are right now, you know what I mean, and know that was down the pipe coming up, working on that, and here the day is, like you said, Brad, they don't have to cross the street, they don't have to go out, they've got their room right there in a beautiful facility, and I am kind of jealous of how organized everything is.
It looks state of the art.
Isn't that just so nice? Yeah, that's just like it's crazy how, and then of course then you go to the middle school and you go to the STEAM room, and now that's the coolest. That furniture, I'd love to have that furniture. I mean, right?
Yes, very flexible seating, and
yes,
a lot of collaboration can take place.
That would work out really well for my family. I could be like the chef in the middle, kind of like a Benihana thing,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I love that we had the open house. And for those that didn't make it to it, I'm sad for that, but hopefully maybe you'll have the opportunity to get to see it at some point, So check with the principals of each school and see if they have opportunity time maybe.
Absolutely.
So,
we can take you on a tour.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So great things, and it was a big day. That was a big day for Salem School Corporation, and a lot of great people came down to celebrate, and it was definitely a day of celebrating, for sure. And then, of course, onward ho we go, and now other things coming up will be from this kind of I guess, keeping kids focused right now. Is that kind of a hard part to do when they get back from?
It's a fresh start. Students are picking up their schedules today at the high school, second semester, and coming back from a break, yes, I think it is. It's a little tough to get back in the swing of things, but teachers are ready to go. They spent some time yesterday in some professional development about culture and climate and brain regulation and understanding
Explain a little.
trauma.
That is so good, and explain a little bit of that, Jill.
Sure.
That is so cool.
Sure. So yesterday, through some grant opportunities through the IDOE, we were able to write in professional development. So we had class training yesterday. That's Connecting Learning Assures Successful Students. Jim McMillan came down. He worked with our ISPs and bus monitors back in December, and then all the teachers yesterday, and really just focused on 2 life goals of treating people right and doing the right thing, and how we can teach students those 2 life goals through lifelines such as integrity, accountability, independence. And then we talked a lot about brain regulation and how sometimes we feel like maybe our students are not understanding what we're saying, or they're being disrespectful in class, but it's just sometimes a way for them to cope with maybe something they've dealt with at home or even at school. So some brain regulation strategies such as tapping, where you can tap under the eyes or tap on the chin, test anxiety, tapping on your wrist. So some strategies like that. Doing a lot of crossing the brain, the midline activities with students to keep that brain focused. And then just a lot of collaboration strategies and strategies with academics too. So it was a great day. We had the elementary in the morning and the secondary in the afternoon. And I appreciated all that time the teachers gave, because that was also a work day for them to complete records and reports. Yeah. But they were able to take time out of their day to come and focus on some new strategies. So hopefully they can implement something new today.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, they never stop learning, do they?
No. Teaching is definitely a profession. We're lifelong learners, that's for sure.
I love that, and I love everybody coming together and then just kind of going back and going over things. I think everybody, I think that's refreshing probably for them to, things that, and I saw on TikTok the tapping.
Mm-hmm.
They say that works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
And we talked to, having the instructional assistants and the bus monitors have the same training. They had a day-long training, again, through a special education paraprofessional grant that we were able to write and receive from the state. So they spent a whole day learning these strategies, because sometimes, our bus monitors, our bus drivers, they're the first faces our students see in the morning and when they go home. So they have to kind of deal with that behavior first thing in the morning. So I feel like we equipped them with some tools in their toolbox. And then our instructional assistants, they are so important to us. And sometimes they're the ones who work in small group, or they take the children out who are having issues in the classroom to help them be regulated and get back in so learning can take place. So we were really glad they could participate too.
I love this. I'm so glad you shared that, because I think that's so important, and just bettering, and that much more we're doing for our students and for our children, and just getting them all prepared. And
they're completely on board. They're actually going to be doing a book study too. So here in January and February, we're reading a book called Connections Over Compliance. And again, it's about building relationships with students and understanding the why behind a behavior. So the instructional assistants and bus monitors they're ready and willing to jump in with both feet and do a book study with me too. So we're excited about that.
Do they have the book, the why behind the husband,
Actually, the book's good
Is that
for
the
everyone.
second chapter? Is there
So
another,
we'll make sure you get a copy when we're done.
Second edition.
Yeah, bestseller.
That would be best. Oh, I had to say it.
I know.
It was too tempting.
I had to put my HR hat on for a moment and not make a comment and just
Okay.
acknowledge
We'll make sure you both get copies.
Yes, I love that. No, I think it's fantastic. No, I love that. Well, and I think that's just one more. Okay, our teachers, I think it's just what jewels they are. What a jewel. Not only do they, give up. You're there from morning till afternoon. I learned, I guess I'm teaching, during your day, you're completely, I don't want to, but your day is there, devoted. And so, if they schedule, a dentist appointment, a hair appointment, or anything, it has to be either after hours or, and so, that's a lot, okay? And then they're completely giving all day long, and the sacrifice is what they're doing, and they love it. They're in it for the right reason. We know that now. Look at our teachers. For anybody that's a teacher right now, you have to give 100% respect and just admire them for doing this. And then they're wanting to even better themselves by saying, "Hey, let's learn and see what more can we do for our children." Isn't that just
Yes. Yep. Again, another training, the elementary, some of the staff, and again, the instructional assistants participated in 40 hours of Orton Gillingham training and 20-hour sessions. And some of this is after school hours. So they are very dedicated. We're very, very blessed.
Yeah, yes, and they do. You're right. And matter of fact, even though we had the break, I'm sure there was probably 90% of them had been back and forth, to the rooms or done some, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you have to remind them, you're on break, you need to go.
Correct.
They're very dedicated.
Definitely need that relaxation to refuel for the next semester. So,
yeah, for sure.
Again, it was a great day yesterday. It was great to see everybody come together.
I love that. And that's also bonding, with each other too, getting, a lot of times, you're in your own classroom, you're doing, you don't always get to see everybody else, and having that time, and that, I'm sure that it was great.
It was.
And I love that. I love that Salem School Corporation is doing that. Okay, so onward how we go. So today's kiddos are back, and I remember getting our schedule and looking to see who you had classes with. That's always exciting. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure now it's you text each other who has classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Take a picture of your schedule and text it to your friends.
Yeah. Used to be a note or something. You write down.
My grandkids, their parents can look and see what their grades are at any given point in time where they go to school, and they can't hear it as well.
Yeah.
And I always tell my grandkids, boy, I'm glad they didn't have that when I was in school. But my brother and I could bluff it, through until the end of the grading period.
Well, I'll be very honest. I look forward to that Friday email, checking on very near and dear
Yeah.
17-year-old. It's like, oh, so it can either make the weekend start off great,
Yeah.
or
Or you got some things to talk
or
about.
we,
Yeah.
we probably need to have a family dinner on Friday.
Yeah. We need to have a family meeting.
And you're going nowhere this week.
That's
No,
right.
no, I'm no. But
Yeah, he's good.
it is interesting to me, and I kind of like I have made that comment to him. It's just like, well, I am kind of glad that Jeannie didn't get these every Friday.
Oh, it was.
Because I was like, it'd be like, there's some times I may have been
Yeah.
in trouble a little bit, but
Yeah.
I just hope they didn't call home.
oh,
I mean, because that's when the trouble really started.
oh, I can, and this is bad, but Becky and I were very social in school,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
both very good
Surprise.
students.
Yeah.
I mean, she, but I can remember I got in trouble one time when I was in school, and my mom, who listens every Wednesday, I love her. I'll tell
We
you,
love Jeannie.
I never got in trouble again. I mean, that was one of those things that's just like, no, I'm not going to get put in that. So, yeah, I learned my lesson the first time. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it
Well, I
makes a
would get in
difference.
trouble for visiting. She likes to visit. She likes to talk and visit. See, they didn't know I was working on my career here, you know?
I was gonna say,
Yes.
That's right.
It launches
was-
into your future.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and my mom was not one of those, what did you do to my poor
No.
kid? It was, what did he do, and does he need to live
Oh,
to
yeah, that's-
tomorrow?
that's my
and I'm
parents
sorry
are that,
that
yeah.
he came to school
Yeah.
and acted like that.
And I love that. I love that our parents were like that, because that's giving respect to the teachers, which they deserve. And I can't say it enough, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back to hear. You need a relationship with those teachers. I love when parents and teachers have that relationship. Because that is just so important. And your teachers are there, and everybody's working for the same goal to make the child the best the child can be, and everybody working together. It's a great thing. So I encourage all parents to always stay involved.
Yeah.
And
The teachers and staff see things that maybe your child, for whatever reason, you may have the best relationship with your child that you can think of, but someone at school may see things that you absolutely that or they may talk about things with someone at school that absolutely is different than the conversation they would have with you.
Yeah.
And again, I've had the conversation, we need to start narrowing down what you want to do in the future, and come to find out, he had a conversation with someone at school that was way more candid, and that, he was candid with me, but he was way more comfortable and candid, and he was in an environment that, he got better consultation from the folks that see his academics, to see his extracurricular stuff, to see him interacting more in different ways, and was way better advice. And it was great that it's coming from teachers and faculty that care about your kid, you know. And I think that's something that Salem
School Corporation very good about that.
Very good about that.
And I think that's wonderful. And I think as parents, that's good for them to know. It's I hope everyone's listening this morning and hearing that this, because it's good and great things going on. And a lot of times we don't always, always hear all that. And I think it's some great things going on. So I appreciate you letting us know that. And I think it's a great relationship to have with the teachers and parents, and stay involved and with the activities going on. So then, with the school starting back, and then we got this stretch, are there any testing, or what do we got going on right now? This
We are preparing. This semester is the testing season.
I'm segueing in. Okay,
yes. So that's always on everyone's minds. Actually, starting to attend a lot of webinars to prepare for that. We'll have our iLearn assessments in 3rd through 8th grade. And
has that changed throughout the years a little bit, or what's
it is changing again.
Okay.
So we will be taking the current assessment this year and next year, but Salem Schools has signed up to pilot the new iLearn assessment. So what's going to happen next year is we will be able to pilot checkpoints. And if you've heard your students talk about NWEA, that they take as a benchmark assessment, and then they take the middle of the year, the end of the year, and we do this all the way through high school, it's going to be very similar to NWEA. So we'll take a checkpoint at 3 points during the school year over what our teachers have taught, and then we'll have a final assessment at the end, and that one will be similar to what you're used to seeing with an iLearn score report. But the nice thing about the checkpoints is the teachers will have a map, and they will know what standards should be taught and what will be covered on the assessment, and the students will be assessed, and then that gives teachers time to reteach, and then they'll take the assessment or checkpoint again, so they can retake it to see if they've made some improvements. So we'll do that 3 times, and then we'll take our final assessment like we have in the past, late April, early May.
I love that.
So how do you get, I mean, that's exciting.
Yeah.
How do you get involved in being a pilot for that?
It's open to any school system to pilot it for next year, and why wouldn't we?
Right.
You know, why wouldn't we go ahead
Yeah.
and take a look at,
Yeah.
at what the students are going to be expected to know and be able to do?
Sure.
You know, we want to be able to follow the rules and play the game of testing, because
Sure.
kids get nervous. It's very stressful. They're anxious about it. So if we can take this 3 times and say, okay, this is what it's going to look like in the end, I think it's much better for students to see that ahead of time. And then we also have the iRead assessment that typically takes place in 3rd grade, but again, the state has offered 2nd grade students to take that assessment, which again, why wouldn't we? If they can go ahead and take it in 2nd grade and, you know, feel a little bit more confident about taking it. If they pass it in 2nd grade, they don't have to take it in 3rd grade.
Ah.
So last year, over half of our 2nd graders already passed the iRead. So we'll only have half of those current 3rd graders taking it this year, and then we will also do the 2nd grade assessment again. So that's kind of your primary through 8th grade testing pieces. Of course, secondary, we've had the PSAT and the SAT, which is now the testing that they take in at the high school level. So a lot of testing coming up.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm thinking at the younger, the middle or elementary, and I'm thinking that I love the idea of maybe catching it early, if they're not getting something, then waiting till that last, like, you know what I mean, the final, and then realizing that, oh, they weren't getting it, they didn't catch it, right?
Yes.
That's really a huge advantage for them to take the time to learn it, to get it, and then not just to go on
Correct.
and try to pass a test that, you know. That works out really well.
And you know, some of our students may never meet the criteria to receive a pass score, but the nice thing is that we look at growth too.
Yes.
So students who are growing.
Yes.
So, you know, again, a student who has test anxiety or a student with a disability may not receive that passing score, but they will receive their growth piece. So that's something we'll have to look at as they develop the new assessment, but growth is just as important as proficiency.
I love that. Say that louder. Exactly.
Yes,
and that growth
absolutely.
is just so important. Yeah. I love that. That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, you hear that you know, and I know adults that say that testing always, you know, taking a test, they still have trouble. You know, and sometimes, you know, that's just, and you learn that about yourself. You know, and how to deal with it, and how to, you know, ideas. And I'm sure the teachers, like you said, are learning different ways of de-stressing or getting themselves.
And I think this is finally maybe exactly what we needed with the testing piece, because we've had to do a lot of guessing and trying to figure out, you know, have I taught everything, and have I taught it in the right order, and are they ready? So now the state's giving us
Clarity.
Yes, much more clarity, and it's kind to be clear. So
Yes.
teachers know that, you know, I need to have taught these standards very, very thoroughly, as well as the additional standards that maybe aren't the power standards, but they still need to know.
Yeah.
And then I can test and see how I did, and then I can reteach and try it again. So I think it's exciting.
I think that's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there was some muddiness for a while, you know, not knowing exactly, you know, and there's so much, you know, and it's like, you know, what the standards are. That's great that they're making it more clear, and just, you know, what about then, like, will they still do the grades, like give each school a grade? Will they do that grading?
That's kind of been on hold for a few years. Yes.
They keep holding it.
And now, you know, they give us proficiency ratings based on how our kids score. So we do still receive a federal accountability grade. but the school-wide grades have been on hold. So I would say that will probably be the case a little bit longer until they figure out the growth piece and the proficiency
Well, not
piece
just
with
talking
the new
about
tests.
Salem schools, but other schools. It was, I heard, schools saying, we are not that grade level. We are not, they just, that was what was given, but they didn't, they knew their students and knew their growth and knew what they were doing,
Yes, and you can't just base your whole school on one data point.
I know. Yeah.
So that's tough when those grades come out. It's disheartening to think
Well, it's
about how much
heartening
work
whenever
you've done.
you've worked, so hard.
And again, that's why I said the rules of the game, because they continually changed on us, and I think that was really hard for teachers and students. And then parents receive these score reports; they don't really understand them either. So
no, and they don't. You're right.
So now that they're used to these checkpoints throughout the year that we've already been doing, it will look very similar.
Yeah, and that's that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes.
I think the thing too with that, and I think I always talk about like a coach loving their team, and your teacher loving their students, and then whenever you felt like that grade was not very, what it should be, that was always hard, because your students and you love your students and you know that they are good and they're making improvements, but the grade didn't reflect. So I thought that was So
I know very little about the assessment and the grading because, as you know, my background's the finance and the buildings and grounds and the construction and everything. But I never thought it was right to compare communities, like, for example, to compare us with Zionsville, because the demographic is so much different. We have tremendous number of great families and supportive families and good families here. And I'm sure Zionsville does too. But the demographic is so different. The socioeconomic demographic is so different, and it's not apples to apples, in my opinion. What little I know about assessment and testing.
Well,
that's my opinion.
you're right.
Being on the other side of that, and you guys had mentioned earlier, it's like when you're not comparing apples to apples, and then like as a parent or as a community member, not understanding everything that goes into that, then our knee-jerk response is, this is a C school or whatever, not knowing what all goes into that and how that really isn't reflective. I mean, to me, I don't like to use this word a lot, but that's really unfair. And I think it's almost borderline disrespectful to all the hardworking folks in education that are doing all of this stuff that probably is not. And so I'm glad they've kind of put that on hold, because you get a perception, and it's hard to fight that when you're there every day and we are not a C school or a B school or whatever, but people think we are, and that can be really frustrating and disheartening and unfair. I hate to use that word, but it probably sums that up. And so I think that's good, because I'm not an educator. I don't know everything that goes into. I just know if I have a student that is what their grades are, what their opportunities are, and things like that. I don't, like with our associates, I know what goes into evaluating the associate. I also know what all the metrics that go into evaluating a store like Salem, that's been Supercenter of the Year, for the North BU. I know what goes into that. But you walk in and say, oh, Supercenter of the Year. Okay, that's the same as saying, oh, we're an A, right? Yeah. But nobody knows what goes into that. And let's say that we have a struggling year and we're not Supercenter of the Year, so it's like, oh, that's a terrible store. So I mean, people, that's you kind of relate to it like that, and I especially, I'm a huge advocate for teachers and anybody in education, from anybody that does anything associated to a school system, because I don't know what goes on in there, and but I also think that hard work, you shouldn't get shot down for hard work that someone else is judging based on you don't know what. And that was a long soapbox there, but it's like it's just one of those things. It's just like because we're talking about education dollars, right? Someone may choose not to go to a school based on something and put their child in a school that in the long run may not be the better choice for them.
Exactly.
Anyway.
No, No.
Sorry.
You were
Sorry.
doing it. You
Sorry.
go. You're on it. We love when Brad lets loose.
Sorry. I
Yeah,
don't
there
get
are a
to do
lot
that.
of
I
other
don't
things.
get
Yeah,
to
no,
do
there
that
are a
very
lot of
often.
things to look at when you look at a
Yeah.
school. And something new too that's been created by the IDOE is the GPS system. So it used to be kind of like a compass dashboard you could go to on the IDOE, but now it's called the GPS, and it does look like a driving dashboard. It gives scores on lots of different things now, just not how we did on that one assessment. So for example, you can look at graduation rate, which is very important, and Salem Schools has an extremely high graduation rate, and the high school works tirelessly to make sure that happens, and a lot of safety nets in place to make sure our students graduate. So you can look at that. You can look at course offerings where students can earn high school credit at the middle school level, which is something we're working on.
That's great.
And trying to, again, you have to be careful with that, because is a middle schooler really ready to take a high school course that could count on your transcript and follow you? So things like that. Attendance rate, very, very important. We're focused on that. We're actually kicking off. We're going to be tracking our attendance rate in all 3 buildings. It's one of our goals. So you can track our attendance rate. And again, we talked about that earlier. Please send your children to school and on time unless they're ill,
Yeah.
because that attendance rate's really, really important. So lots of different things now that are reported about our schools that you can check out on the GPS.
Right. And I think, that, when they, have that good, where, they're getting up every morning and good routine, hitting the ground running. And, I always, my girls, you're going to be good citizens. You're going to be up, and they had to hear the speech every morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got a song and a speech, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The best part of the routine for school in my household is that there's not someone eating all day. They're eating somewhere else. So
Yeah.
that helps with the cupboards at home briefly, but still.
Yeah.
So we take those, breaks are not good sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like,
No, the grocery store. Yeah.
yeah,
You can't. Yeah. You can't.
Good thing I work for Walmart, because I can't. Yeah.
No, it's true, but I think it's important, and I think that getting that, I'm glad that they have that, and have that there's much more that goes into it. It's not just just one thing. So we've got testing coming up, so be prepared. That's coming down the pipe for anybody. Families know that, and then our next break will be Spring
What
break.
are
Long
the
breaks,
We have a
yeah.
few built-in snow days.
Snow days,
coming
okay.
up.
which I'm kind of hoping for. I want to do some sledding. I like.
Friday night into Saturday.
Yeah.
But kids never like the snow on the weekend, right?
No, I know it's supposed to
No.
happen Monday
Yeah.
through Friday.
If it happens on Friday
That's what I
night after all the events are over, it's just like, dang, that's
I
a
know.
wasted snow day,
I
or
know.
a wasted snowstorm.
Yeah.
So what are the dates for spring break this year?
We're putting you on.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the last
yeah.
week of
Sorry.
March.
Okay, last
Last
week of March. Yeah.
Yep. But I can give you those dates.
Well, and everybody will be ready for that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yes.
I'm sorry putting you on the spot
Not
there.
at all.
Definitely. So.
The last week of March, so the 25th through the 29th,
Okay.
will be spring break. We do have a built-in snow day on January 15th, Martin Luther King Day, and we also have a built-in snow day on February 19th, which is President's Day. So,
Okay.
those
So
will be
what
our
does
next
that
two.
mean? Explain like built in like that for those that. Like, does that mean like if we don't have a snow day, we'll take that day off, or how? Yeah, I mean.
Gives us its flexibility
Mhm.
more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yes.
I mean, if it is it right to say if it doesn't snow us out that day, we go to school, and otherwise it doesn't count against the 180 student
Okay.
days
Okay.
that we're
Right.
required to have each year.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So that would be like a buffer. So if
Yeah.
there's not snow, you go to school, that puts you to where if there's another day that you're not accounted for or not planning for being off, then that'll wash itself out, right? Is that what I'm
It's the
getting at?
intention.
Now let's talk about like e-learning days. When you do an e-learning day, does that count as a school day, or how does that explain that a little bit on that too?
We have some new regulations from the state.
Okay.
So,
new stuff.
yes. So last year, I think again, monitoring how often we're not in the classroom face to face is really this regulation piece. But there was not a limit previously to how many. Now they call them synchronous days and asynchronous days.
So we're not e-learning day.
They're really called, yes. They've shifted to synchronous and asynchronous. So
I'll
a
never
synchronous
remember
day.
that. Synchronous
A
day.
synchronous day is
That sounds
when
like
you would meet with your teacher for Google Meets face to face online. An asynchronous day would be all the assignments are posted in a classroom, Google Classroom, and you can do them whenever you felt like it. You're only allowed to have 3 asynchronous days now. We already used one of those for Parent-Teacher Conference Day. So we do have a buffer. We have 2 of those if we wanted to use them. But asynchronous, you can go ahead and have those expectations that your students will meet the hourly requirements by meeting with their teachers through Google Meets online and completing their work, usually while it's happening. And then that's a school day. So really a snow day is almost unheard of now, unless we want to declare it a snow day because maybe there's no electricity and no one can really use their computer. Or, you know,
which
yes, that
could
happen.
Could happen.
Could happen.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we do get a nice snowstorm and everybody needs to play. So
See, now
maybe
you
Dr.
Jill,
Thurston
now
says it's a
you're,
snow
now
day.
you, Brad and I, look, our ears are perking up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Every once in a
Yeah.
while you may
Absolutely.
need one of
Well,
those.
you
So we
do.
do have a few options there. But pretty much now if you get the phone call that there's been inclement weather, it will more than likely be a synchronous learning day. So students will be expected to get up on time and meet with their teachers through the schedule that's been dispersed by the schools. So elementary students don't have to meet nearly as long as a high school student does, but there are certain hourly requirements that we have to meet.
Well, I'm glad to learn that new verbiage.
Yes. Yep. That's new again. New rules. So,
Okay.
but yes. And,
So
and-
anyone receiving that call will know what, you know, because they'd be like, what?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. And we'll try to make those calls as early as possible.
Well, and it's hard, and I always like to just kind of, you know, reiterate again, I guess, going back over, like, you know, we know that for the teachers to have to do a lesson, that's a lot still for them to have to do the lesson. It's not ideal. I remember during COVID, you know, like sometimes I know people would be like, oh, teachers just want to stay home. That is so far from the truth. You know, it's extra for them. That's a lot of extra for them. And I think that's always good to mention that this is not the ideal situation. It just sometimes works better than for safety.
Yes.
And also just for the way things work out better sometimes.
Yeah, and you can continually learn if you can meet face to face. But again, it is really important that students attend, even if it's a synchronous learning day. If they have the internet capabilities and they're in a location where they can get on, that attendance is very, very important.
And we're doing better on that, right? We've got a lot more. Remember, years ago, we had a lot that didn't have the internet. I think, did we not park a bus and do some hotspots, different
We've
places?
done that, yes.
Now tell me that's just not creative. You talk about
it is.
You talk. I mean, now come on. I tell that to everybody. I'm just like, that's to me. I mean, right? I mean, that is talk about.
Well, we have some
thinking out of the
areas that
box.
are probably challenged, you
Yeah.
know, in terms of reception. If you go out to certain areas off of 135
And again, teachers are really good about asking that because, you know, the packets that you could send home prior to knowing that you're going to have inclement weather, that's something that you can do prior to if you know you don't have internet service.
Well, I just think that's on it.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a really, I just think that's fantastic. And I know they're working on, making sure everyone has the availability for internet. I know that, and they're working hard on that in our area. But we're a big rural area.
Yes.
This is a big area.
It is.
And so I just think that, I think that's just brilliant to bring that school bus and have a hot spot for people. I think, I love that. You know what I mean? Build it and they will come. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. So going back on this, so that's possibly, and again for 2024, everyone, please let's have grace because, making these decisions to have school or not to have school is never this lightly decision. You just don't make that decision lightly. I mean, there's a lot of people that are called and text and involved and driving around to see, and just because Main Street in the city of Salem might be beautifully done, fine, doesn't mean that, like you said, out there on Wheeler Holler, out there, some
Little York.
Little York, yes, all the different areas
Right.
might be having challenges. So, it's fair to all concerned, everybody. So I think that's what we always have to remember, and and so be nice.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you got to think about that, especially in a rural community, because not only with your students but with businesses and things, you got to. My road in front of my house is perfectly flat. I am in the country, but it's perfectly flat. They come through there, but I've got people that, you know, I'm responsible for over there that they don't have those same conditions. And so you, and I think grace is a good word for that, because I always would err on the side of, if someone is that adamant about my child's safety, I'm gonna be your fan every single time. And, and if you say that, knowing how seriously you take the safety of, and the staff and everyone going to school and everything, you know, it's just a no-brainer for me. You support that 100%. Say, I'm right there with you. And then I say, can you call home office and tell them I have the day off today too? They've got me. I can work from home, so that's the sad thing, right? You know, so I don't get snow days either, so that kind of bothers me. No, but I mean, the safety aspect of it is, there's always those, and we talk about this every year during there's the armchair quarterbacks that are gonna second guess everything, and it's just like, just give them some grace and understand that they're doing the right thing for your kid and for the people that are teaching your kids and involved in education.
Well,
we want them safe also.
Yeah, and all,
it's everywhere. It's not just Salem.
Every
it's everywhere.
Corporation,
so
I mean,
just kind of
just let it
reserve.
Know the people they're professionals. They're making the choices and they're making the right choices. So.
Yeah.
These are just good little public service reminders, you know, before we start getting into.
I'm planning on starting off the year with a couple soapbox issues, but hey, this is exciting for me.
Well, we're just reminding everybody, you know, it's just nice to stay kind and be kind and give grace and just, you know, and safety, definitely, we want that for sure. And so we'll see what comes about. We'll see what happens in this weekend. They are talking about it. We'll see if it stays. And we'll just take it one day at a time, right?
Right, exactly.
And, so I figured, I'm really surprised that Kim and Jill, you guys don't have the countdown of spring break. You guys, nope, you do not.
They don't have to, because the students already, day one, they're just like, X number of days until spring break.
Yeah, we're getting there. Well,
it's just, I think for us, it's, you know, we're, for the teachers and the students, there's more, especially, you know, and my wife retired 3 years ago, but Seymour's called her back every year, you know, for those 3 years, and she's teaching right now for them. But it's just, you know, I think the teachers are more cognizant, and the students are, of how many days, you know, because it's not, I don't want to say, it's just a different environment for us. You know, I mean, in the central office, it's not that it's an easy environment, but it's just a different environment. And I don't mind being here, you know, because, but teachers need a break.
Well, they
Students
do
need a break.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know.
Well, and teachers also, like, they probably have like a timeline that they're wanting, like, progress, you know, so they probably do know, you know, that this is you know, like different goals they've set for this, you know, so I'm sure they do have all that. Something else too, I want to talk real quick. We have a Lions Locker, and I want to say that our schools, if this is such a blessing for winter clothing and for clothing for families, and I'm so proud that we have this at Salem Community Schools. And I just hope that any grandmother, mother, aunt, uncle, anybody listening who knows a family that might need that, what a blessing that our school corporation has such a, I mean,
oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we don't talk about that enough, because I hear people say, I didn't know they had that.
Very well stocked right now.
Very well stocked, and it's there for them to use. So
Absolutely.
Please don't hesitate, utilize that, especially, you know, with coats or jackets or shoes, or, you know, because we know with the cooler temperatures.
If they need information, I'd say just call the school's office, and they will be directed to. There's an individual in each building that's primarily in charge of that particular spot. So, but if you don't know who that is, if you call the school's office, the building's office, they can direct you.
Yeah, and I hope people utilize that, you know, and what a blessing for our families. So that's taking, I mean, that's going, you know, above and beyond. And if anybody would like to donate, if somebody sees maybe shoes on sale, you know, right now, you know, if there's big clearance sales or shoe sales or jacket sales, and want to grab a couple of jackets or shoes or anything like that, sweatshirts or anything, please do. And if you want to donate it, that would be a blessing too for families. So, just good food for thought. Well, time goes by so fast.
It does.
So, a lot of great things going on at Salem Community Schools. Was there anything we missed? I mean, my goodness, I think we've been all over the page. I think the big thing, like, I'm so glad that talking about the grand opening for the safe rooms, that's huge. And what a blessing for 2024. That one's done and ready to go, you know what I mean? And onward how we go to see what great things that, you know, is around the river bend for Salem Community Schools.
Yep.
So
Yes.
check out the bus routes if anybody wants to know more about them. And I love that Ed Jordan is just like got that spirit of, you know, if they want to come, we're gonna get them there. So I love that. That's
right.
great. So if they want more information about that, they can contact the offices again and find out.
Yes.
Yes.
So great, good deal, good
Awesome.
deal. Jill, Kim, keep up the great work, and I hope that this has been a morning of encouragement because we're very proud of you guys. You guys are. I'm afraid that Gene Simmons is going to come in the door, but you guys are rock stars. Remember the commercial?
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
time somebody said the rock stars, and
Yeah.
one of the KISS
Yeah.
members comes in. I wouldn't be afraid. I'd be happy, I guess.
Yeah.
It'd be,
We can get a picture.
yeah.
I would anyway. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'd be over the counter.
Yeah.
Well, since women rock, maybe it would be Taylor Swift today. So,
Hey,
yeah.
we could do that too. That's right. I could be a Swiftie with you, for sure. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Keep up the great work. Brad, keep up the great work over at Walmart, and
Thank you.
yeah, all those great sales, and
Yeah.
keep up the great work on that.
Yeah,
too.
I'm just. We have great associates.
You do.
We have great customers. I'm just so. I every day I get to work with great people. So very proud of, and we have a lot of students. And I'll tell you, this community in general, not just Salem, but our community, we have some of the best teenagers that come into the workforce prepared, and I'm always proud of that. So so for everybody in education and my Salem folks, keep up the great work with that.
For sure. All right, let's thank our sponsors.
All right, we've got Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Foxtree Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Leader One Financial and Equal Housing Lender.
And IU plays tonight.
Yay!
Yeah, so then we'll be having that game on tonight. So tune in for that. All right, best day ever.
Let branch manager Autumn Scott Hall and her staff at Salem's Leader One Financial Office on the public square help you live your best dream with just the right financing. Autumn and Camissa are licensed for all FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, and jumbo mortgage programs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned real estate investor, or simply looking for refinancing options, Autumn's team will help you and ensure you receive the right mortgage for your unique financial situation at a competitive and fair price. They'll communicate with you all the information you need to know when you need to know it, while offering the best mortgage loans for your financing needs. Call today to get started, 812-883-0670, or stop in and see Autumn or Camissa today at 18 Public Square, Suite A in Salem. We're ready to open the door to home ownership for you.
Turning Point Church in Scottsburg is a church of second chances and new beginnings and has something for everyone and every age. Showers for those in need are going to be available on Wednesdays from 5:30 to 6:15. Food will also be available afterwards. If you're in need of more than a meal, Turning Point has food giveaways twice a month. Coming up in December, they'll have December the 11th and December the 18th from 11 to 1 p.m. or until the food runs out. Turning Point Church is located at 899 West McLean Avenue in Scottsburg. For more information, contact Pastor John Jackson at 812-752-7857 or find the church's Facebook page online.
Indiana's going to win it, and they have won it!
5 times national champions, 22 conference championships,
3 on the way. Yes!
17 Big Ten Players of the Year,
Throws up a shot. High, hit it again!
7 Basketball Hall of Famers, and countless memories on the court.
Trace puts it up. Oh, he got it! What a spin move!
This is Indiana Hoosiers basketball.
When I first joined the board at Papa John's, I brought some big ideas.
We're gonna need more pepperoni.
But my biggest idea, the Shakaroni Pizza.
Make it bigger, make it bigger. More is
It's
better.
extra large with extra cheese and covered in more than 60 pepperonis.
When I say handful of pepperoni, I mean my handful.
What makes Shakaroni huge is that Papa John's donates $1 from every pizza to the Papa John's Foundation.
1, 2, 3, Shakaroni!
Pizza gets bigger when you Shakaroni.
only at Papa John's.
The new Shackaroni is available at your Salem Papa John's for a limited time, starting at only $13.99. Call today at 812-883-3.
Rick and Bubba, earning a living off low expectations.
That's right, baby. 30 years today we have done the Rick and Bubba show, and we now enter into year 31. 30 years behind us, the 30th anniversary. All the 30th anniversary gear can be found. There'll be some others we'll add as the year goes on. We'll celebrate all year. But you can find those at rickandbubba.com under the store. So check those today. I've got one of those on, the new 30 years and still kicking shirt. Got the coffee mug, got the playing cards, got the socks, got the lunchbox, all kinds of cool things you can find there. We'll do phone calls this hour to get it started. Speedy goes to the phones. You want to join us? We'd love to chat with you. 629-WE-BE-BIG. That's 629-WE-BE-BIG. Speedy will be standing by. The gang all here for another hour. Happy anniversary,
The
Bubba.
Rick and Bubba Show is a federally protected trademark.
30 years.
We just thought you'd want to know.
I got it.
Yeah.
All rights reserved.
Thank you.
Hey, back at you.
Happy 30th year, big boy. Or 30 years behind us.
I know.
All right, so we were discussing trying to go to the phones and talk with everybody. We haven't heard from you guys in a while. We haven't chatted. We talked about a lot of things. So any comments you want to make now, you can. 629-WE-BE-BIG. But you know, this constant battle during hunting, and then I start thinking about, I guess, fishing too, with Camp House Rick versus Civilized Rick, and people don't know what I mean, and they're like, "What do you mean? It's two different Ricks." So Adler has gathered a couple of pictures, and to kind of give, because sometimes a picture will speak. If you want to hear the two Ricks, I mean, you see them right there. There's a distinct difference.
There's Mountain Man.
Can you tell? Notice I'm hugging one of Greg's grandkids.
That's my granddaughter.
One of my little nieces, a great niece over there. By the way, I'm loving being Great Uncle Rick. I'm having a blast.
Oh, they're having a ball.
They've got a name for me, Funcle.
Funkle.
Because I'm having so much fun.
Yeah,
I know.
It scared me.
Well, that's the reason why I spelled it first. It was almost like I had to step into it.
Thank you.
But do you see the difference there? Does that sum it up a little bit?
First of all, you're a little scary over the mountain.
Over here, civilized.
Mountain Man.
Look, civilized Rick has his hair perfect. He's got his little sweater on, his little glasses.
Did you bribe Aaron?
He's hugging children.
Yeah.
And then over here you see that there's hardly anything else on that guy's mind.
Rick, that's life below zero.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So there it is. To the phones we go. Right, but remember, the problem is what Sherry's trying to do is it goes back to the Great Seinfeld episode. She's trying to get Camp House Rick and Civilized Rick to live together, and they can't.
That's tough.
Camp House, Civilized Rick will kill Camp House Rick.
Yeah. Gone. And vice versa.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure.
Jeff in Alabama. Jeff, welcome to Rick and Bubba. Go ahead.
What's up, fellas? Quick question for you. I've been listening to all y'all's great stories about hunting over the break, which is phenomenal. Rick, I just sent you an email. I hope you got your spouts for your deer feeders. So I hope Gary brought those to the farm so you can get that fixed back up.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, thanks.
I'm torn. So yesterday I found out that I won an all-expense-paid trip to Texas to hunt a 200-inch whitetail.
Hey.
And
the problem is, and what's the deal?
Well, I've got a beautiful elk hanging on my wall that I was lucky enough to take last year in Colorado at 450 some odd yards in about a 25-mile-an-hour crosswind. It's something to be proud of. Does it diminish the animals hanging on the wall if you got to tell your buddies that beautiful 200-inch whitetail right there come off of a ranch in Texas, which is presumably a high fence, even though it's an extremely large high fence?
Yeah,
I'm torn.
Yeah, I don't think so, because we've hunted Texas before, and it's a different kind of hunting. I don't know whether you'll be still hunting or riding in the high racks. We did the high racks, which was a different dynamic, because when you get ready to shoot, if you see one that is a shooter, everybody's watching you. I mean, you've got the peanut gallery, and it's almost freehand shooting. You can prop, on the rack, but it's not like sitting in a blind or a ladder stand with having that good of a prop.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Yeah, but anyway, a 200-inch deer, like you just said, you said it yourself. I mean, in Texas, you're talking about tens of thousands of acres. You're not talking about there in a pen. I mean, at all. And so it's it's a different it's a different
I say
experience.
go.
I think you should go. I don't think
Oh,
there's any
yes.
shame in that at all.
I do too.
Man, I feel so much better.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. And thanks for calling. 866 We Be Big is our number. We go to Christmas Rhonda. Christmas Rhonda, welcome.
Big time of year for her.
It is. You were missed on the crest this year.
Oh, listen, I miss it so much, and I have driven by because I come up and teach piano still, Rick.
Oh, good.
And I started to stop and say, "Oh my goodness, Rick, you've disappointed me. Your lights didn't go up this year."
I know,
but I understand why now. So
yeah, well, we were afraid that the crest may accuse us of being the cranks, and you could. There's only one, and I told Bubba this already, and we said it on the air, but there was one neighbor, you take that one neighbor out, everybody else was gravely disappointed. I think the neighbor right across the street from me, probably is glad we didn't do the lights this year.
You know?
But because they probably can't sleep without some sort of blind. But yeah, it was, and the people that got your house, I mean, they put up some nice stuff. They're not as into it, apparently, as you were.
No.
But it was still nice. And
Rhonda, did you light the lake up?
I did, and I was expecting you to come by. I did it just
oh,
for
wow,
you.
You had it down on the lake, Bubba. You should have gone and seen that.
Well, usually it's when I'm there, it's work now, and
right.
But Rhonda, I'm not even exactly sure where you live at exactly. So you'll have to email me, and I'll come by.
I will. You go to Chuck's, don't you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to give it on the air if you want to.
Yeah.
Email
I'm
me.
not. I'm not going to. But I'm just telling you, if you go to Chuck's, it's easy.
Okay. All right. Well, Rhonda, it's
so
good.
Next time you go to church.
You definitely left. You definitely left behind. I tried to step up and fill that gap, and this year we just didn't do it. Yesterday we took all the Christmas decorations down, and I'm gonna tell you what.
That is a sad day.
That is We got up, drank our coffee, ate breakfast, and we were finished at like 6:30 p.m. last night, dealing with all that. It's fun. Let's continue. Let's go to McCalla. Memory, is that the name? Memory, go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Hey, y'all. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for everything. I've been a long time listener. I was on the Rick and Bubba Survivor Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
25 years ago, yeah. Listen to y'all every morning, and it is a memory. And let me tell y'all, I'm still a little salty over it, but it's okay.
That was, we did real Survivor until I believe medical teams told us we had to
shut everything down.
That's been a long time ago, yeah. Let's go to Robert in South Carolina. Robert, go ahead.
Memories. Good morning. Congratulations, and I'm sure glad you're back.
Thank you.
Because I have missed y'all.
Thank you.
In listening to all of the way back stories, the one thing I didn't hear that I would love to know more about is what did Gary do that made Sherry mad?
Ooh.
Because he seems to be scared of that woman, and I'm sure there's a really good reason.
There is a good reason. There is a tree behind the little farmhouse that is a black walnut. There's no telling how old this tree is. I mean, it is a beautiful ancient tree, and Sherry Burgess loves that tree. And the black walnuts, their bottom limbs a lot of times will grow out and just be a little bit off the ground, and they spread out in these beautiful deals. Well, Gary, without asking Sherry or me, decided it was hard to get a lawnmower under this beautiful historic black walnut, and just took a chainsaw and cut off one of the limbs. And that's a day that Gary nor I ever want to relive.
Mm.
And every single time that my beautiful wife goes to our place there and she walks around the back of her house, I just go 3, 2. I cannot believe that Gary just lopped that limb off. I cannot believe it. He ruined that tree.
You have to hear it again.
And it just starts back up again. And so the greatest line on that one, as I've said on there before, but you may have missed it, Robert, is Gary called me He said, hey, I'm in trouble with Sherry. And I said, what's happened? Well, I cut a limb off that black walnut. And I said, well, how mad is she? I'm going to have to get me another pair of jeans. She didn't eat the butt end out of these. Yeah, and that was, yep. So that goes on and on.
It continues.
Yep, we'll be back. 16 minutes past the hour. 866-WE-BE-BIG is the number. More stories from our time away, and we'll continue to chat with you as we celebrate our 30th anniversary of the Rick and Bubba Show.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
As we wrap up the year and usher in the next, it's the perfect time to reflect on what truly matters, the people we love most. This year, resolve to keep them safer than ever with Simply Safe Home Security. We all trust Simply Safe in our own homes and recommend it to everyone we know. Save 20% on your new system with a Fast Protect plan by visiting simplysafebubba.com. simplysafebubba.com for 20% off a new system with a Fast Protect plan. Find a link at rickandbubba.com under sponsors. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Folks, Field of Greens just may be the healthiest thing I do for myself each day. My family loves it too. It's nutrition the way nature intended. It helps with digestion. I have more energy. I feel better and healthier overall. It's working for me, and if you haven't tried it, I encourage you to give it a try. I promise you're going to love this product. But if for any reason you don't, they'll give you a 100% money-back guarantee. Get 15% off your first order with free rush shipping at fieldofgreens.com. Use the code BUBBA, or go to rickandbubba.com under the sponsors.
Paid for by Uplevel Rewards. Paid participation and other terms and conditions apply. Add report trail.
Hey, where did you get all that cash?
You mean this $750?
Yes, that $750. Where did you get all that cash?
Since it's January, I went to JanuaryCash750.com and got $750.
You got $750?
Yes. Just go to JanuaryCash750.com this month and follow the simple instructions on the site. Once you finish, the $750 is yours.
It's that easy to get $750?
It is, but only in January. You just answer the basic questions on the site, complete the deals they show you, and get $750 sent to your Venmo or PayPal.
I'm always short on cash. I'm going to JanuaryCash750.com right now to get my $750.
Ready to get your $750? Get started right now at JanuaryCash750.com. Remember, this offer is only valid in January, so go to JanuaryCash750.com. Just go to JanuaryCash750.com. Follow the simple instructions and get your $750. Go to JanuaryCash750.com. That's JanuaryCash750.com. Don't wait, it's this month only. Go to JanuaryCash750.com. JanuaryCash750.com. JanuaryCash750.com.
To avoid digital threats, turn on NordVPN. It's trusted by millions of users. Just visit NordVPN.com. One of the fastest VPNs on Earth will block web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. It will also encrypt your internet traffic while maintaining a smooth connection. So improve your digital privacy and protection against hackers with one simple click. Get the special deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
I was afraid to cut the cord, but I'm so glad I did. I was paying way too much for cable. I wasn't finding the shows I wanted, and the prices kept going up. Thankfully, I discovered a new way to watch called Philo. I get to see all my favorite stuff in one spot, anytime I want, anywhere I want, for just $25 a month. Plus, Philo's got unlimited DVR, so I never have to miss anything. It really is the best deal in TV. Try it out for yourself. Go to philo.tv. That's PHILO.TV. And start your 7-day free trial now.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head, comb it over, wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence. Because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to anyone that texts BRUSH to 200-300. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let Bosley show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text BRUSH to 200-300. That's BRUSH to 200-300.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Minutes past the hour, 30th anniversary edition of the Rick and Bubba Show, back from the big year ender and then our time off at the end of the year, which is tradition here. Hope you enjoyed the Rick and Bubba Best Of shows and the Rick and Bubba replays while we were away. Wednesday Bible study back today as well. We'll be back in 2 Corinthians, noon Central, 1 o'clock Eastern on the Rick and Bubba YouTube channel for the live opportunity. Then it'll be archived soon after. Video archive will be on our YouTube channel, audio archive on our podcast channel. Also, the brand new Rick and Bubba CD, Rough Patch, is now available on all streaming services. Not just the hard copies, but also available on all streaming services. So you can grab that if you haven't already. So looking back, Bubba, so when we did a tremendous amount, Sherry and I did, of hosting. We kind of hosting. You said you did too.
Yep.
Thank you.
We had several get-togethers, and it was a lot of fun.
If you and Betty, if we'd not had the rotation on y'all hosting the Rick and Bubba Christmas party, we would have been hosting the Christmas party after Thanksgiving, then the Christmas party, then Christmas Eve, all in the same deal. And then we hosted New Year's Day as well. Look, let me tell all of you out there, I'm going to work on it. A lot of you are like, you never posted in documents on goodies the sausage ball recipe. We want your mama's cornbread recipe. We want chocolate biscuit recipe. All this great. And look, and I'll add to it, we did Dad's tenderloin on New Year's Day.
Oh, really?
And it was perfection. But anyway, so we did a lot of hosting. And anytime you're hosting, there's a tremendous amount of pressure, and the pressure it puts on husbands.
There's pressure when you go somewhere, but there's pressure when you host.
The hosting,
and then you got to have everything right. And
I'll almost take the travel over the hosting.
Oh, most definitely.
The hosting is awful, and so one of the things that happened was, I guess I got to handle this.
Let me ask you this while you're thinking through that. Is there a time limit that says, okay, what is the time? This is how I do it, because we host.
Okay. That's a good question.
One of the families. And my thought is, if I got to drive more than 2 hours, I'd rather host.
I will agree with that.
Is there is the number that's where y'all land?
That's my number. Two's a good I'll drive an hour and a half.
See, in my mind, I'm thinking I would rather drive an hour and a half and not host.
Absolutely.
An hour's not too bad. At 2 hours, do you stay the night?
No. 2 hours is
At what point do you stay
It's about
the
a 6 hour cutoff.
Oh, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we usually stay 3 to 4.
Yeah.
But 6 is the max.
How long?
They're going to be ready for us to go too.
If you're popping in and out and you're visiting, you're going to a family function.
Yes.
You're one of these days. What do you think is leaving too quick?
Less than 3 hours.
Yeah. That's
on a big day like Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, like for Thanksgiving.
Well, like for Thanksgiving, we travel over to basically Starkville, Mississippi, Sturgis, which is a little over 2. It's right at 2.
Mm-hmm.
We try to wake up, and I tell the family, this hurts on the front, but on the back end, we'll be glad. We try to get there as quick as we can, probably around 9 or so.
Go early, come home back early.
And that's leaving at 6, so maybe sometimes 9:30. But then we eat and then leave right at dinner time to get back at a decent time. But that's pretty much the entire
Let me flip
day.
that now. Back to the hosting.
Yeah.
See, I don't like, and this happened to us on New Year's Day, but ball games played a role.
Yeah.
I don't like when we're hosting and I hear that food is ready to go at noon. That's quick.
That is.
Okay.
I mean, that's quick.
Yeah,
I kind of
Two's
like.
about it.
I like
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
We do the mid-afternoon.
Yeah,
Two's
I like
about
2
it.
o'clock, and
Yeah.
and because you're up, you've had your coffee. Next thing you know, you're like, well, good night. Everybody's gonna be here.
Oh, I have to eat at noon, though, Rick.
Yeah,
I have to.
yeah. Well, I know
can't
that.
get off
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I'm already waiting an hour. At
Sure,
that point,
yeah. But we do. But so anyway, so what also comes with hosting is errands. Lots and lots and lots of errands.
Yeah. Because you go by and.
Well, y'all know that one of the things that I struggle with, and as Sherry has said many, many years ago, and this is her phrase she uses when I do it, you're doing that thing you do. and that is, I don't like to take over people's businesses, airports, Little League tournaments, fill in the blank. But I just end up taking them over if I think they're being run inefficiently. Okay, and it's like I can't keep myself from doing it.
You have to. Right?
But what Sherry says, the problem with you though is because of the way you do things, you rebel rouse. You get people drafting with you, you know. And she goes, and you turn places into a little bit of a chaotic situation. And I said, I don't mean to, and I tried to let it go, so I won't say where I was. I had to run an errand. Now, because of the holidays, this place featured. I'm placing an order, or I'm picking up something I've already called in. That's not. We're not getting meals. We're getting products. Okay, things you need. And so Sherry said, "Oh, I hate to do this to you. You never want to hear that."
No.
She said, "But we don't have enough of fill in the blank, and you're gonna have to go by." I said, "Sherry, I thought we had all we need there. I can't go now. This is the rush now.
Yeah.
Now everybody wants it.
You got me out in it.
I hope you're not at a shop that does butchering or a honey baked ham.
Ooh.
Because either one of those is a nightmare.
Look, if police are called in just to direct traffic in and out,
we're past that
fast.
Yeah.
So I walk in to a place that may be like that.
Okay.
I walk into a place that may be like that, and I uncontrollably text to Sherry, total chaos. And
madhouse.
I said, this is a madhouse. Well, there's 2 registers operating, okay? And I realized pretty quick it could be done better. Okay?
Oh, no, you didn't try to help them out.
We're colliding with people who are picking up orders and people who are placing orders. I think that should be 2 different registers.
Yes.
All over here is placing new orders. All over here are pickups. But they weren't doing that. And it was causing mass confusion. And all of a sudden, one woman was sitting there. She goes, well, I was told to leave this register and then pay over here. And the guy looks at her and says, ma'am, you should have just stayed where you are. And all of a sudden it happened. All of a sudden I heard myself.
Oh, you could.
I said, we're all confused in here. We're all very confused. Look, and then all of a sudden, as Sherry predicted, somebody, that's right.
There's a
And I said,
what the bearded guy said.
Look,
I'm with him.
And of course, this is supposed to be civilized, Rick.
Cap house, Rick.
I raised my hand. I said, may I make a suggestion?
You did?
I did. I said, may I make a suggestion? I think all pickup people should be over here.
You went that far.
And all people placing new orders should be here. I think it should be 2 different locations. Makes a lot of sense. That's right. My gosh, can't y'all get your act together? And finally, the guy says, sir, we're doing the best we can. He almost gets in tears. I said, I'm sorry. Well, you ought to listen to what he says. Makes a hell of a lot of sense. And then I could just hear. I could hear in the back of my head.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Sherry going. You're doing that thing.
Yeah, you're doing it again.
And then now everybody panics because people begin to demand they do it my way.
It could have been so much easier.
And I was like, I think it's a better way. Then I become apologetic a little bit. I'm sorry because now it's total pandemonium.
The Rude Tourette's came out.
Yeah. I said,
this guy's running.
I said, it just could be done. Can I get back there? And like the guy said, no, you can't come back here. And I said, I can have this thing operating super efficiently if you just give me.
That's right.
And then he looks at me with tears. I tell you what, this guy ought to be running this place. We'll be right back.
Rick and Bubba.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like the gap between your bed and wall that's big enough for your phone, but not your hand. Or the gutters growing their own trees. Or the wall outlet your kids keep calling Sparky. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be your heating or air conditioning. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Give Seth at Marshall's a call today at 812-967-3742, and we'll be glad to take care of you.
Ever wonder what it would be like to live without hip or knee pain? Schneck Orthopedics and Sports Medicine's new procedure makes it easier than you think. We're proud to be one of the first in the region to offer Mako robotic arm-assisted joint replacement surgery. This latest advancement transforms the way joint replacements are performed. Mako allows your surgeon to provide you with a personalized surgical experience based on your specific diagnosis and anatomy. This means less soft tissue damage and greater bone preservation, less blood loss, less pain, fewer days in the hospital, and faster recovery. Taking a walk, riding a bike, and playing with your grandchildren. These are just a few of the simple joys in life. But for those with bone and joint pain, these simple joys are often too painful or unbearable to truly enjoy. With Mako robotic arm-assisted surgery at Schneck, you can get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at schneckortho.com.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires you know to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving me. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Unlock a season of savings and fall road trips with Michelin tires. Between October 11th and October 27th, get $70 via reward card or virtual prepaid card after online submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem, Davies County Tire and Supply in Washington, Knox County Tire and Supply in Vincennes, and Du Bois County Tire and Supply in Jasper.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
What a weekend for Purdue basketball.
They're the all-time leader in Big Ten titles.
Oh, mama, he's cooking today.
And they play right here all year long.
Count the basket. Hit a foul.
You don't want to miss a single game of Boiler Ball this season.
He dunks with 2 hands. What a weekend to be a Boilermaker.
The Purdue Boilermakers play here.
Hammer down and boiler up. You're listening to Purdue on WSLM, your official Purdue station.
Ho, ho, ho. This is Jalen Hoare. Santa Claus is coming to town this year, and we believe he has already made his stop here at John Jones, bringing fantastic deals on all of our year-end inventory. Santa has been looking to upgrade his sleigh, and he has found just the spot to do business. If you're tired of being pulled around by Rudolph and the crew, come check out some of our new rides with plenty of reindeer power. We have a list of cars between all of our 5 locations that we can pull from, and you can see them all in one easy spot, johnjonesautogroup.com. See something shiny and new that you're wanting on Santa's short list? Give us a call at 877-473-5546 to set up your appointment today. And from your local John Jones family, we want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
You can also find a direct link at rickandbubba.com under the sponsors. TheraBreath, confidence in every capful. The folks at MyPillow have launched MyPillow 2.0. This innovative MyPillow has a brand new temperature regulating technology to keep you comfortable throughout the night. Core body temperature plays a big role in how you sleep, and this new fabric technology helps regulate your body temp by creating a lower surface temperature for a more restful sleep. The MyPillow 2.0 is available in 4 loft levels with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And, of course, it's made right here in the USA. And, folks, MyPillow.com/Bubba has all kinds of other special radio deals for when you use our special promo code BUBBA. Their Giza Dream bed sheets are also on sale, and there's great deals on slippers, sandals, which are perfect for summer, my coffee, clothes, and their 6-piece towel set. Check them out and check out the MyPillow 2.0. Just go to MyPillow.com/Bubba. Use the code Bubba to get on this buy one, get one free MyPillow 2.0 deal. "35 minutes now past the hour. Rick and Bubba show. We're back. Relief factor. I'm telling you. A couple things happened while we were on the vacation. I told my wife a couple things. I said, all right, you're going to be on Field of Greens in 2024. You're going to be on Relief Factor. because she dabbles in them, but she's not committed to them like I am. And I said, I'm seeing a world of difference, and I need to see you get committed this year. So far, so good. And she said, you know what, you're right. So Relief Factor, some of you have been thinking about this, and you're hearing all these emails and people that are getting great response. And I don't know what you're waiting on. I don't know if you just want to keep the pain. Maybe the pain's something you love. Or, why don't you right now join the over 1 million people, and I'm in this number, who have tried Relief Factor, the Quick Start Kit, for $19.95, and you know that around 70% of all who have tried it saw so much relief, they're still on it, and I'm one of those. So make the move now, okay? Hopefully this is the answer for you, and it's all natural. This is not a drug. This is not something you got to worry about addictive properties. You got to worry about bad side effects. It's 4 botanicals that we've always known played a key role in the body's inflammatory response. So go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4 and then the word relief and get that quick start pack. And let's hear your great testimony involving Relief Factor. So Speedy, you said you ran into a similar situation. You know, anytime you're getting close to these holidays and these holiday meals and people coming over and when you hear, oh no, we don't have fill in the blank. You know, when it comes to our chocolate biscuits, the fear always is we don't have evaporated milk. Oh no.
Right.
You know, and so with you, how did it become Mexican?
Well, like last year, you know, we were the traditional, hey, we're going to have really what we had for Thanksgiving again on Christmas. And the
I love those people.
Yeah. And the boys had been screaming, and others in the family, hey, let's change this up. Because on Thanksgiving, we really, Johnette and Reg, they host, and they do an